September 25th, 1997. The Lord speaks. Since I have chosen you amongst thousands, you should not doubt any more. Act in humility, so that I continue to raise you up to me. I have washed your hands and your mouth, so that by your hands cleansed they would write my words and keep my books, and by your mouth I would fragrance every nation. Through my grace I adorn, the footnote reads. He used the present term as it is continuous. I adorn your soul with the garment of my strength, but above all I, my Vassula, adorned you with my magnificent works of wisdom, so that from my beloved lips, anointed by my sovereignty, we, the footnote reads, the Holy Trinity, would hear praise and honour for our Trinitarian holiness. The footnote reads, God reminds me of my apostolate. Continue to proclaim a resurrected Christ and fill the whole world with fruit. Tell them that Christ in his divine love is bending down from heaven to revive by his presence the work of my hands. The footnote reads, us. With this encouraging news, hordes of nations will come to know us in an intimate union. Tell them, daughter, how we delight when we are also treated as your holy companion in your daily life. Speak as my envoy and remind my people that I, Yahweh, am alive and active. Then go to those, the footnote reads, those means that it is obvious that it is not all. Go to those sacerdotals who do not seek me any more, and ask them, why are you never asking, where is God? In my day I will pronounce my judgment against these shepherds, who have no knowledge of me, and who have never tasted interiorly my sweetness. Today these shepherds have exchanged me for something that has no value, nor any power in it. To remember my presence is what they should observe. I am not observed. How can I say, they are my son's incense, when their only fragrance is the smell of death? I have given you creation 12 years, the footnote reads, since God started his work, True Life in God. 12 years of ineffable favour, and I did not want to act with speed in my wrath. To comfort you in these years of favour, I have spoken. I have bound up hearts that were broken, and have put peace in those hearts. My own heart is a fountain of living water, immersing, in these years of favour, this dry land, giving growth where dross was only to be found. I always wished to rank you as my own. In these days I tell you, I who am the bridegroom of my creation, call each one of you. My wedded one, why those frowns and menaces on the sweetness of my mouth? The footnote reads, God foresees the negative reaction of certain souls. Unhappy little creature, remote from knowing me, come, I invite you to fall into your bridegroom's embrace, and I will show you how I, Yahweh, can adorn your spirit lavishly, offering you a flow of my divine love, so that you, in your turn, return to me this flow of love. Then wait and see the day I will draw you into the nuptial chamber of my heart. Like a rose that grows on the bank of a watercourse, you will blossom to declare the greatness of my name, calling me my Father. In the nuptial chamber of my heart, your heart will spring up with praises, and as the bridegroom rejoices in his bride, so will I rejoice in you, and you in me. My mighty hand will uphold you, and you would never want to part with me again. Indeed, your spirit, enriched by my sweetness and fullness of my spirit, will cry out to all nations, beauty and glory is to be found in our Creator. Our hope, and our Lord. Daughter of my choice, hear and write. I wish you to bear witness to my holiness and my divine sweetness. Be like a loud book, a book written by the triune God. But for now, I want you for myself alone. I want to be with my chosen one and ride the skies with you, lifting you from the hardships of those who hail your death daily. I wish now to lift you from the turmoil and unrest, rivalry, jealousy, and lack of love. Then in your contemplation, while you will be reposing your head on my bosom, I will be augmenting your heart, in your heart my divine teachings. You will learn to do good all the days of your life, and you will grow thus in my heart, giving a sweet smell like the lilies. And when I would be sending you abroad to different nations, you will spread your fragrance on them, and it will be received like a blessing, because you would be growing in my heart. Behold, I have been clothing you with my Son Jesus Christ's countenance. The footnote reads, when so many people see Jesus appearing in my face, so that they understand that you are my work, granted to them by my grace, to be echoing me. So continue to be my echo. Let my words be flowing like wine from your lips, inebriating the hearts of my sons and daughters. Vassula speaks. Lord, I am and remain still, full of wonderment on your beauty. In the night of my soul you appeared a figure of wonder, like the Son of Man in his transfiguration, O triune bridegroom, full of grace and sovereignty, fairer than all the angels put together. What does all of this signify? By what inspiration your heart made you look at me? But I will dare say what I wanted. By what folly of your love your heart made you look at my wretchedness? Most unworthy as I am, here you are, reminding me of our matrimonial bonds, drawing me ever deeper now in your heart, to savour the delights that lie within it, so that I can obtain the flow of your divinity and keep me alive. The Lord speaks. Daughter, if I have poured and am continuing to pour out my grace on you, it is because I want your soul to be fairer and brighter every day that passes by, until it reaches the perfection desired by me. Then I can say, this heart has given me back all that I required, and I have obtained great victories from it. I have obtained at the same time great pleasure from it, and through my grace I will continue to multiply on this heart my favours and my gifts, so that it can continue to sing my hymn of love to every nation. I will continue to pour out in your heart my delights and consolations, like someone pouring water from a jug into a glass. So will I fill your heart with my love. The footnote reads, this image of a jug and glass being filled was one of the first drawings my angel Daniel drew for me back in 1985. Vassula speaks. A shadow passed my thoughts, and I was thinking again of those who, my Lord, calumniate your message with frenzy, especially your language of love. The Lord speaks. Pray for those and bless your persecutors, to be able to obtain mercy in the day of judgment. Flesh and blood will always brood evil and take pleasure in doing evil. These same souls do not talk about my sweetness, nor of my divinity, because their minds do not know how to separate my divine sweetness from their own flesh and blood's desires. No, they do not see that there is a difference. When I speak, my dove, with my lips that are moist with grace, holiness, and sweetness, They do not understand my sayings, and cannot fathom my purity in my magnificence. Their hearts are so hard that it becomes impossible for them to fathom the brightness and the divinity of my heart. This is why these hearts are eclipsed from my light, and in their perishable body and thought they accuse me that my words are excessive and sentimental. These are of whom I say, they are strangers to me, and they do not know me. Ah, my delicate soul, you have tasted my sweetness in my divinity, and I have procured for your soul the taste of my magnificence. And now look at you. Look at the immensity of your thirst for me. I have, my bride, as a bridegroom newly married, shown you how to be intimate and at ease with me, for nothing is dark in my company. And so many have learnt from you, and I have obtained great triumphs from the grace I have given you. When your heart is bound to mine, there is no darkness, but delight and joy all the days of your life. Vassula speaks. Yahweh, you who stepped out of heaven like a bridegroom, coming out of his pavilion, have shown me your face to enjoy your sweetness. The footnote reads, Psalm 27 verse 4. Let the gossip of the wicked hear and learn from David's psalms that their hostility against the sweetness of your language is groundless. Let them learn by reading your psalms that you are the psalm of all your psalms, and that your words, lover of mankind, are sweeter than honey, even than honey that drips from the comb. The footnote reads, Psalm 19 verse 10. For this, by the mere memory of the vision given to me in your immense graciousness, my soul melts and is swept away once more to the ground. What shall I add to this? What can one add to such a sublime vision? But your generosity deigned to reveal yourself to someone as unworthy as myself. This was a free gift of your great love. You did not need to take permission from anyone. You wanted to show yourself, your blessedness, your charm, your radiance, your perfect beauty, and your sweetness. Great is your greatness, and I shall never, ever forget this sweet vision that has been imprinted in my memory. The Lord speaks. I delight in souls who allow themselves to be lifted by me. Ah, Vassula, I wish to bring every soul close to my heart and have it grafted on me, in the same way I have brought you to be close to my heart. This is why, my child, I am tracing ever so graciously a path so that everyone can follow it. A path of righteousness that leads to me. For this reason I, as a young bridegroom in love, am in love with my creation, the work of my hands. And I will expose to every creature the flame of my heart, whether friend or foe. Today many of you scrutinize my love and my sweetness, modelling me according to the passions of your flesh. I tell you, they who know me observe holy things holily. These will be adjudged one day, holy. But as for those who do not know me, and do not observe holy things holily, they will be adjudged as they merit it. My heart is pulsating with calls of love to love, and again I say, whether friend or foe, you are all invited to partake in the delights of my heart, and when you do, you will realize how you belittled me all your life, how you belittled my magnificence by your very weak nature and your worldly inclinations, and by having believed that your exterior pleasures and delights, desired by your flesh, were lordly and great. These delights and pleasures of your flesh can never be measured with my divinity and sweetness. Your delights to mine are like a grain of sand in the universe, when compared to the bliss you can obtain from my sweetness that would lead you to eternal joy. And you, Vassula, you who have entered into the delights of our Trinitarian holiness, and have come to understand our tender affection and our infinite love, we rejoice for having accepted voluntarily to lay our work upon you, hence becoming a living altar, increasing our joy. We have converted you and led you to contemplate a spousal contemplation in the intimate union of our oneness. Then we sent you out of our embrace into the wilderness to defend the truth. But now, after your hard labours, we want you to repose in our heart and have the leisure of contemplating our Trinitarian holiness. In this intent repose, you will be suckled by our divinity. Today again, I offer you my heart. And as a bridegroom who steps out from his pavilion to join his bride, I stepped out to join my heart to yours, and take my pleasure in you, and exchange in our caresses our mutual love. Let it be as in heaven. Love for love, heart for heart,